Hello, hello. It is Friday, August 29th. We're headed into Labor Day weekend. It is 7:42 a.m. I'm just a little late getting to my computer, hit the gym, did all that stuff. So I'm looking at the charts the same with you together. So I haven't really looked at much um, since this morning. And so just kind of quick look here on the NQs. And actually, let me start by comparing the indexes. Let's close this. All right, so on the NQs, nice little pullback off of this HMA level back into this kind of breakup from the day before. So again, this is just a good pullback long, it looks like. And ES closed on all-time highs, new all-time highs yesterday, so that's pretty cool. Looks like we're pulling back into the level that we broke out from. And so there's probably people up here who bought up here. And so, I guess we are expecting maybe they're adding, maybe super wrong stop is below the low of yesterday's candle. Let's see. Russell all time high pierced, closed mostly green. And the Dow didn't make an all time high yesterday, but it did. It led last week. Um, but everything looks super bullish here. VIX making lower lows here. I mean, it's going down. Dollar is sideways action. Bonds down sideways action. XLK, pretty strong. Closed above all the things. Closed above this breakdown candle from Tuesday. Also wicked above this last week's high or last Monday's high, I think, on the 18th. Yeah. So pretty strong. I mean, everything looks up. I think there was news already, so we'll look at that in a second. Just looking at the mega caps. Look at that, man. Apple is going, going, going. One, two, three, four, five green closes in a day in a row. We're going. Looks like Microsoft. I'm interested here. Like, can we push above that and close kind of, I mean, really, like, I think we'll get back up to this breakdown level for sure. And so this 518, I'm curious what happens there. Um, Look at Amazon just going, 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 which is really good. Google super going, a new all-time high again. Wow, very good. Meta. So let's see, we pushed up into kind of this breakdown level ish. So this is kind of what I'm looking for also in Microsoft when it gets to that level. Like, are we gonna sweep that level and then start breaking lower lows? See, we yesterday we couldn't break a higher high here, but we did make a lower low, even though we closed on the green. And pre-market we're opening a little bit towards the lows. So like, there could be more downside to finish closing this gap here potentially. Could be interesting options. But everything else is bullish, so we just have to really wait and see what that looks like. Nvidia, let's see, when was earnings? Yesterday or Wednesday? Um, or no, I must have been, yeah, Wednesday after market close. So Thursday we're kind of figuring out what we want to do. Today we're kind of just hanging out. So I think eye on that if we break the low or high of yesterday. Um, might be a good place to put an alert actually. So just out of curiosity, I'll put these here. So be watching Nvidia. Tesla had been kind of breaking out since last week or since the Sunday prep. I think we're pulling back. It looks poised to go higher from my perspective. To kind of push back that. We'll have to see what the ES does, but if we can push, like if ES can continue all time highs, then obviously we can probably break out there. Um, the Qs look super strong. Yeah, they look super strong. I mean, it's interesting we're getting down to this breakdown level here. This 578 around here. So maybe in the next couple days, if it can't break and it just kind of hangs out, there's a rollover, as like I wouldn't say a deep rollover, but a little one. So we'll see how that goes. Cool. So that's what the megatechs look like. Really quickly, let's look at what the NQ looks like on my trading chart. And I guess for this, well, I guess we looked at the daily already. And so, we're pulling back. So we had this dark pull level that we marked. Yeah, marked that. So there's some levels there. Also, we pushed up from this dark pull level already. So I'm just curious. And also, this just kind of defaults to SPX when I open it. And it's interesting that yesterday, there was a lot of bearish action for I think next year in 2026. So that's pretty interesting just to kind of keep an eye on. But if we look at, so in the last day or so, so really from yesterday to today, we got a lot of transactions at this 577 level. Not crazy a lot, like 300 million. Let's say 577 all in. You're talking 400 million. So it's not a billion. So it's not craziness. So I'll be watching that. 573, which is kind of around here a little bit more. So maybe they were just buying up into this push, which is possible. But this 577, I'm interested in that and just kind of see what that looks like. So we do this and we'll add 577 as kind of an area. All right, where's 577? So 577 is up here. And so I'm thinking to myself, if 577 is here, and it happened yesterday, or I can't unlock you, I guess. Unlock. So if this happened yesterday, so 577 and change, right? Yeah, pretty much. So that happened yesterday, and then now with the news and everything, we flushed down. I'm wondering, were they buying, right? And so it's an interesting level to kind of keep an eye on there. Were they buying? Were they profit taking from down here to up here? I'm not sure, but just watching this level was printed yesterday, and now price is pulling back. I think maybe we suck back up to that. I'll have to see how we behave there, but it's just an interesting level for me to watch. Obviously, if we can get above it, and become green or green for the day, then we can keep going. But if we can't, I think for me, I would intraday look for a short. But we'll see. So that's an interesting level. As far as let's see the. If we do the Qs, let's see all the action that was done yesterday that expires today. What is today? The 29th. Let's just get everything. Okay, so everything that people bought yesterday and that expires today, it's more bullish, So let's keep that in mind. So we'll see how we go there. As far as news, so it looks like we have this PCE situation. Year over year came flat, month on month came in at forecast, and in core price index year over year came in higher than previous year, but like kind of on par with the forecast. So US core PCE on par, consumer spending on par. So, nothing crazy here. So I don't know. I mean, so like I don't necessarily try to interpret this too much. And so like I'll usually just do this and then say, okay, let's go to our GPT. And then I'll do my little custom GPT. This mean for NQ. And then we'll do this. And let's see what it comes back with. Okay. I mean, yeah, I don't know where it's getting these levels. Okay, see, this is sometimes you don't really know about AI. Like you give it a screenshot and then it talks about uh, Al Brooks and ICT, which is kind of funny. Um, so yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. Let's see. Let's see if it can do a little bit better here. So yep, everything is so short-term pullback, bullish bias is still place. Yeah, I mean its levels are all off. I mean look at that. Um, so not really. So let's see. So expecting a moderate pullback, some key levels, still bullish. Yeah, I mean I don't think it tells you anything new. So yeah, I mean, let's just see what happens. I'm watching this dark pool level from the other day, 23,592, and then also 23,756. So pretty wide range to watch. Also this key level at this 23,700. Um, so let's just see how we go. I mean, also like when you look at the daily, like the level where it's pulling back right here is a great. In theory, this is a really good pullback buy situation as well. Um, like right here. This is like some type of zone. I don't know if it's not that, but this is a zone of some kind. Whatever you subscribe to, it's a zone. And so could be a good long. I mean, that's true. So let's just see what the morning brings. All right, that's it. Sorry for the ramble. Good luck.